This is going to be year 2025 about like discrediting the incumbent. Like you have to do that. Nobody's going to vote for you because you just proved yourself to be awesome. Like you have to discredit Mayor Frey, I think. There's a lot there to discredit if you want to go for it. And so it's not enough to be the nice guy that everybody likes, I don't think.
Unless people are tired of negative, and they will be
in which case you have to run the Minneapolis is in the headlines for the wrong reasons. The same campaign Jacob Frey ran. Can you believe this? In 2017, Jacob Frey's campaign theme was Minneapolis in the headlines for the wrong reasons.
I'm Jacob Frey. We all love what makes this city so special. It's why I'm disgusted Minneapolis is in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. Police shootings, intolerance, and inequality.
Feels like the good old days to me. I don't know about you.
Wow. It was a different city then.
Yeah. Could you imagine somebody just taking it to Jacob Frey like he took it to Betsy Hodges? And I think Koski might be that person. I don't know. Definitely, I won't talk about it. I talked about it on the recent episode. So
you can't repeat content.
Yeah. So the final thing, Melody, before we go to viewer mail, is how is Jacob Frey not like emotionally fried, pun intended, from the last 8 years? Shouldn't he want to go away?
How do you know that he's not?
I don't know. I guess so. The two answers could be either he's got like heroic levels of emotional stamina, or he has no conscience and he does not feel. He is a synthetic being. He's not real. I just feel like 8 years, even for a council member, 8 years is a lot. 8 years as mayor, when you've had the heavy stuff with policing, George Floyd's murder, getting reelected, and then immediately your police department kills Amir Locke for the thing you said, no-knock warrants that you had banned in the previous year's campaign. A lot of heavy things had happened. Even if you have the sunny outlook about Jacob Frey, he's a good and honorable man. I like him. He's my friend, things like that. You would think that would affect a person in a very strong way, that they would need to go away for a while. And yet he is coming back for a third term.
R.T. Ryback was in office for 12 years.
That sounds plausible.
He was a very popular mayor.
And the things that we have had happen to us over the last
it's different, very different.
5 years, I don't think compares.
Though I can't speculate on why. These are good questions to ask him, actually.
Jacob Frey. Yeah.
The emotional. I mean, true. I mean, when I, as a white person who is deep in, like puts herself in, especially before I was a reporter, like put myself in racial justice spaces, it's exhausting. And he put himself in that space, when George Floyd was murdered and got the response that he did. It affects you, It really does. So I think that is a good question. I think I'm being on city council, being in any elected space, being in any space where you're dealing with these issues, police chief, police officer, any of these things where you're dealing with this stuff on a day-to-day basis,
right,
absolutely emotionally impacts you. And to act like it doesn't would be concerning. And so whether people are dealing with that or not is, I think it's hard for us to judge, but I think those are good questions for journalists to ask.
Like, I can imagine being scarred so badly by that I get, like, you get mean. There's a level of meanness that can creep in. I'm not making judgments about Mayor Frey when I say that. Just like when you go through so much abuse, like it can turn you very mean and unfeeling. Like that scar tissue builds up and you just stop feeling things.
Do you mean abuse from your constituents?
Just just the pressure, the abuse, like receiving all that vitriol either in public or on social media.
Yeah. And he reads it.
Right. He does engage on Instagram. We're thinking about you, Mayor Frey. How are you? How are you doing? Are you okay? Do you think it's right for you to run for a third term, or should you take a little break, recharge? These are all good questions.